Assistant. Okay, I'm gonna have to sit up tall. Welcome. It's a really odd to be here at a bill signing without the governor, but thank you all for coming. The governor has a family emergency, and otherwise he would absolutely be here. So we're just going to proceed, and I want to thank the legislators for still showing up, even though it's just me. So thank you. You guys have worked so hard on this legislation that we're going to celebrate today and sign today, and I just have to say, to put on the record here, that our legislators are incredible people who have made incredible sacrifices, have really good hearts, wonderful intentions, and have done some really, really impactful things, good things for the people of the state of Utah. We are in good hands with them. And I also want to thank President Randall and the University of Utah for letting us be here and hosting us today. And I'm going to give you some time to have a few remarks. This is a big topic. We are a family-friendly state. We care about our children, our educators, our education system. We care about the future, and this is an opportunity to show that we put our money where our mouth is. So, President Randall. Yes, policy project.
With the USERV bill, or which one do you want to start with?
SB 205.
Okay. So we're going to do two. I was going to speak to 206. Do you want to start with 205 first?
Sorry, I thought you were like giving us welcome remarks.
Okay, great. I got it. Look, we
make this up as we go along.
Yeah. It's always good to have remarkable leaders that allow you a little grace to make sure we're on the same page. Thank you, Lieutenant Henderson. By the way, we have the International Olympic Committee here today,
which is why I'm dressed like this. I just came from there.
So it's a banner day here at the University of Utah, and actually for the state of Utah. We are always grateful for the partnerships that we have with not only the governor's office and the executive branch, but also our legislative branch. As I go around the country and I speak to the many university presidents, we realize how unique we are here in the state. And I don't think it's because we're a medium-sized state and we know each other well, but there's just remarkable political capital here and a remarkable will to actually do great things. And so I just want to thank both the executive branch and all the legislators that are here today for the support that you lend to higher education, families, in the entire state. The bills today, from a university perspective, particularly the second one that I believe we're going to sign, and I'll have more to say about that in a minute, will be game-changing for what we hope in a number of years are thousands of students. So with that, welcome to the University of Utah. Let's get going. I'll be back up to speak a little bit later on one of the other bills, but thank you very much for being here.
Thank you, President Randall. Okay, so how this is going to work, we're going to start with the policy project, Representative Lisenby, Senator Colomore's bill first, and I'll invite the sponsors to come up, say whatever they want to say. Afterward, we'll have everybody involved with the bill come up. We'll do a photo, and then we'll move on to the next bill. So we're going to start then with Senate Bill 205, Child Sexual Abuse Prevention Amendments. Senator Colomore, Representative Lisenby. Please describe your bill. I mean, this is so important. And I was told to wear purple, and I have a purple suit in my car, but I came from the IOC thing that I had to pinch hit for the governor for, and I didn't have time to change.
Okay, well, thank you, Lieutenant Governor. I just want to say it's really my honor to be the sponsor of this bill along with Representative Lisenby, because the real engine behind this was the policy project, Mary Catherine, Emily, Kristen. Here in Utah, we have a lot of really good things going for us. In fact, our crime rates are some of the lowest, particularly the major crimes. We have some of the lowest rates in the country, except in sexual abuse. And that is where our crime is unfortunately statistically higher than the rest of the country. And so this bill is so impactful because this is going to ensure that education is provided to so many kids throughout the state to help them avoid this type of sexual abuse. And I'm just so proud of the work that we were able to accomplish, that we got this done in a meaningful way that will get this education to so many. And so I just want to thank the Policy Project. Thank you guys for involving me and helping me be the face of the bill, even though it was all of your work. So I appreciate it.
Thank you. Okay, we'll invite Policy Project team members to come up. And this is a really complicated, touchy, sticky topic. And I just appreciate the way the Policy Project handled it, and Representative Lisenby and Senator Collimore for the way they guided this through to make a really positive impact on the kids in our state. Oh, I'm supposed to sign. Nobody cares if I sign these, but I'm gonna sign them here. Thanks. Thank you. All right, we got one here. Okay, nobody wants my pen, right? All right.
Folks, everyone look around here, please. There we go.
Okay. Senator Collimore. All right, thanks, you guys. You're going to have to talk louder, Paul. I'm sorry. Okay. We're going to do, if I'm doing this in the wrong order, I'm sorry, you guys, but we're going to just go for it. I don't even know where my team is to look and see if I'm doing this wrong. Okay. We're gonna go next to HB 75, paid leave modifications. So this is Representative Grishas, Senator Harper here. Okay, all right, great. If you wouldn't mind talking a little bit about this bill.
Yeah, so this one was a fun bill for me this session. So a little bit of a twist, different note from what we just heard. But HB 75 deals with an expansion of postpartum and parental leave for state employees. So this bill originally started as a cleanup committee bill when the Department of Government Operations came in and said, we need you to more clearly define birth so we know how to apply this leave. And I spoke up and said, well, as the only committee member who's actually given birth, I can break it down pretty clearly for you. So lo and behold, my name ended up on this bill. And it was a blessing because this was a fun bill. It's been my experience that a lot of people, when they engage in this process, want to be removed from bills. They want carve-outs so that certain things do not apply to them. And this was the exact opposite. As we were working through, the department was great. The governor's team was great. The Office of Families came and said, hey, we want to add foster families to this. The State Board of Education came and said, hey, we want to also have this apply to us. And so it was really fun to watch all of our different groups across the state and the agencies really recognize the value of parental leave and the value of having our parents in the workforce. And anyway, it's been a pleasure, and your team was wonderful, so thank you.
Thank you very much, Representative Grishas. We appreciate it. Again, this highlights that we are a family-friendly state, and we are actively working to make sure that our policies reflect that. And we're grateful for the work that you did on this. Do you have anybody you want to invite up?
It's just me.
Okay. It's you and me.
I
All
couldn't
right.
even get my senator to come. So.
All right.
Yeah, we'll get
Oh,
directed.
good. There we
Dr.
go.
Thank
Yes.
you.
All right. We'll give this one to your Senator Harper. But all right.
You can join Lieutenant just on this other side, please. Perfect. Looking right here, please. Great, thank you.
Okay. Thank you. we waiting on school safety? I don't think Representative Wilcox is here yet. Okay. Representative Birkeland. We've got House Bill 105, educator expense modifications. This is something that a lot of people have worried about over the years, and we're grateful that Representative Birkeland has finally, hopefully, finished tackling this issue. I'm going to go ahead and describe your
Yes,
bill.
thank you. I have a good friend. His name is Kwok. He teaches at West High School, and he shared a story with me about having to ask kids in his class to take off a shoe in exchange for pencils because there was no money for him to buy pencils. He would have had to have done it from his own pocket, which he was happily going to do, but he just felt like, why are we doing this? There's so many teachers in this predicament, particularly newer teachers, as he was just recently graduated from the University of Utah. So well done. Kwok is a great example of an up-and-coming teacher who just doesn't have the money and the means to provide everything a classroom needs. And so what was originally a tax credit bill is now just a funding bill through the stabilization funds to ensure that particularly elementary school teachers now have $500 that they can apply for to help pay for their classroom supplies. And then it's $200 for upper education. And I know that $500, it's never going to be enough, right? The teachers give so much, they do so much for our students. We want to make sure that the classroom is a great learning environment, but it is a $250 increase to what they're getting now. So while $500 sounds small, and I get that, we've got to go little by little to where we want to be in the end. So I appreciate all the support and for getting this done because I know there's a lot of amazing teachers out there who really will benefit from this and the students will in turn benefit. So thank you.
Thank you, Representative Birkeland. We support our teachers and we're trying every year to find new ways to show that and making sure that they're not having to dig into their own pockets to pay for supplies is one of those ways. So thank you for your work on this. It's just the two of us. I'll stand up. Sitting there. All right, the next one is Representative Ballard, House Bill 192, local agency employee paid leave. Again, demonstrating that we care about families and parents, and we want people to have babies.
Yes, we do. In fact, I would like to invite, we have representation from a teacher who was able to get out of school to come and represent them. And I'd like to invite my husband and my daughter as well, and also Jenny Earl and Chair Moss. Will you come up here because you also represent the state school board, which is where this will really have an impact. So as you're coming up, I would like to talk a little bit about this bill. Parental leave is really important for teachers. Before this legislation, some public schools had policies of being able to support teachers for parental leave, but they had to use their own paid time off, or if they didn't have enough, they chose to would have to go without a paycheck for while they were out, or even pay for substitutes while they were recovering from having a baby, and still maintain lesson plans and testing. And so this legislation, and also thanks to Representative Gricius for the bill that she just did, requires that school teachers be on a minimum of what state employees have for parental leave. So as of right now, it would be 3 weeks off for being a foster parent, a grandparent taking custody, or adoption, or being a spouse of having a new baby. And it would be 6 weeks for postpartum leave for those who actually give birth. So for a state that touts family first, this is really putting our money where our mouth is, of really having that support for our teachers to have parental leave and not be punished financially. In fact, this bill requires that there's no, they cannot have any any punishment for having a baby and having that time off. So really proud of this legislation and proud of our teachers. Thank you for representing our teachers, Brooke. She really was great in rallying and helping teachers to understand the benefit of this bill and garnering support. So we appreciate our teachers.
Thank you. I'll hold this one. Okay.
Thank you for coming. I appreciate it.
All right. Next up, Representative Peterson, Karen Peterson. There she is. This is House Bill 221, Stipends for Future Educators. Karen has, before she was a legislator, helped us and the previous administration with education policy. So there are a few people that are more versed than she is and more supportive. Go ahead.
Well, thank you. So House Bill 221 establishes a paid student teaching stipend. So currently, our student teachers in our state are not paid. And all of us that are in the business world, we know that unpaid internships are no longer a thing. And we shouldn't be asking our teachers to do that. So this bill creates a stipend for those teachers. We know that more than 50% of our teachers don't stay more than 5 years. But if we can have strong induction programs and strong mentoring at the beginning, we know they're more likely to stay longer. And so this is a good investment for our state. I really appreciate, I worked with our deans of our College of Education. They provided really great feedback. Some student teachers that will never get to benefit because they're student teaching right now, but they have seen what a challenge it is to do a full semester of student teaching unpaid while, they're still paying their tuition. So I really appreciate everyone that came and supported the bill, and also that are here today. The state board as well supported the bill, and our superintendents and local school board. So thank you.
Thank you, Representative Peterson. Is
Would you
there
like to
anybody
all
who wants
up?
to come
Yes,
up?
please come up.
Thanks for being here. We're grateful for all of the educators and school board members that came today. Thank you for being here. All right. I'll just hold this up. All right, say cheese. Okay, this next bill is House Bill 272. Representative Paul Cutler, Senator Mike McKell. This is another very important bill dealing with
Please.
bring them all up. Dealing with domestic violence and children, and we're really grateful to Representative Cutler and all those who worked on this bill.
Thank you very much. And Senator McKell deserves a lot of the credit, and he likes to speak for long periods of time, so we'll turn something over to him too. In Utah, we value families and we value children. And House Bill 272 builds on the work that Lieutenant Governor and Senator Weiler did last year with lethality assessments, and builds on the work that the policy project also brought forward to educate children in schools by updating our judicial code to make sure that we value and prioritize children's safety above all else. And this bill was named Ohm's Law in honor of Moses Gandhi, Leah's son, who tragically lost his life in our state. And we don't want that to happen to any other children. So this bill did a couple of key things. It updated our judicial code to say, in a child custody proceeding, you must consider the safety of the children above all else and put that first above all other considerations. Second, we made some modifications to who can be an expert. And with help from the Domestic Violence Coalition, said, if you want to be an expert on domestic violence for children, you should have experience and you should have expertise in that area. Third, we put some smart restrictions on reunification camps and some of the things that were going on that Senator McHale could talk more about. And fourth, we set up a framework for educating all those involved in our judiciary system to help them be more aware of domestic violence issues, help them recognize trauma, help them to make better decisions as part of the judicial process. And our goal is to put children first and protect them. Thank you.
Thank you, Lieutenant Governor. And I want to echo what Representative Cutler said about your own situation, the work that you worked on. I noticed you were an early endorser of this bill. And I look across who's worked on this bill, Aaron and the Domestic Violence Coalition. There were a lot of partners that worked on this. Shani Hunter, my law partner, has been impacted by this. Leah Moses has been impacted. And we heard from a lot of people out in the public that were impacted. We've had some abusive litigation that has happened in the state, and the abusive litigation is to try to ignore the domestic violence in those relationships. And I'm really proud of Representative Cutler. I'm not going to take a lot of time. Representative Cutler, we ended up, the bill's in front of us. I don't know if we ended up on the 5th substitute or the 6th substitute. It was a learning experience for you. As a fairly new representative, I just want to commend you. I was absolutely impressed. This bill took a lot of work. You worked with the courts, you worked with family law attorneys, you worked with advocacy groups, and you got pummeled along the way. and you fought the right fight. And I'm really proud of our state. I'm proud of the legislature. I'm proud of my colleagues. This took a lot of work, and I see some of the colleagues in the House that actually jumped on and tried to help Representative Cutler with this bill. It took a lot of effort. With that, thank you, and Lieutenant Governor, I understand where the governor is today. I know his wife had a surgery. Do I dare say that? I probably don't.
Maybe just like for now.
For now, we'll just keep in our prayers. She's doing okay. But thank you for having us today.
Well, thank you, and thank you all for your work on this. This is an issue that, thankfully, we've been focusing more on recently, and it's horrible that we have these situations, these tragic situations. But if we had to have terrible, tragic situations, at least hopefully we're learning from them so that we can prevent them in the future. And so I know it's hard and complicated, and there are a lot of stakeholders, but being able to protect our kids and recognize domestic violence and the impact that it has generationally is something that we are doing better as a state, and I'm grateful for that, grateful for the work of the people up here and many other people throughout the state.
Yes.
You're my senator, so you're going to want my pen.
I do
Right?
want your
Okay.
Yeah.
My pen.
I don't want your shoes, though.
All right. Do we have Representative Wilcox yet? He is here. Okay. All right. All right. We've got two more. This next one is House Bill 84, Representative Wilcox and Senator Ipson. There is Representative Wilcox. I don't know anyone who's worked harder on this issue than Representative Wilcox. I'm making sure that we understand school safety and prevent future tragedies. Representative Wilcox, I'm just going to turn the time over to you to describe your bill and talk about it a little bit.
Yeah, Chris, Keith, come on up. Squires, come on. Dane. Karen. Peterson. Okay. Mr. Chair. Yeah. All right, so there's going to be a few people up here for this one. And that's mostly because this isn't about Representative Wilcox. This is literally everybody you see here over the last 2 years, really, and some longer than that, that have been working on this. And it started with what we saw in the tragedy in Uvalde, Texas, and Robb Elementary, and asking those hard questions. Do we have a commissioner's office here? I don't see him. Anyway, I just want to make sure and recognize as many of those folks as we can. And those initial conversations led to a conversation with then Speaker Wilson, who assigned, I think, 7 of us to different aspects of that, including Representative Peterson, Representative Lisenby, Representative Johnson, who couldn't be here, but sent the sweetest note apologizing for that today. But the reality is this is something that isn't going away for us. It's not in our country. It's not something that we can pretend like isn't happening. And I do have a few special guests that have traveled here from Florida to be here today, and I want to recognize Max and Lori, Max Schachter and Lori Alhadeff, and I'll give them just a second to say a few words about why they came here and their involvement in helping us with this legislation. But we've had so many that have contributed. We have a lot of the national experts who train and work on these things around the country to make sure that when our kids go to school, all they're worried about is learning rather than catastrophic violence. That isn't something that they should have to worry about, but it is something that we do. It is something that it is the responsibility of the parents, of the schools, of the adults, who can do a lot more to prepare and to make sure that they don't have to think about it. So appreciate all the work that has gone into this. There's Governor Cox last month or I guess just a few weeks ago at the campus safety conference here that Chief Squires put on. And by the way, I'm sure that's not his title now. I'm not exactly sure what it is. But talked about how this was the most comprehensive school safety legislation in the country. And that's not because of Representative Wilcox, that's because of all of you. So thank you for all those contributions at the school board and members here from that too, and the School Safety Center. I just can't tell you how grateful we are that that happened. Turn a little bit of time over to Lori to talk about Alyssa's Law, which is also part of this.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Lori Alhadeff, and my daughter was Alyssa Alhadeff, who was murdered at Stoneman Douglas High School on Valentine's Day 6 years ago. This is my daughter, Alyssa, and I stand before you today filled with immense excitement for the progress Utah is making towards ensuring the safety of schools. With the passage of this robust school safety bill, which includes Alyssa's Law, the 6th state now to have passed Alyssa's Law, mandating panic buttons in schools, we are taking a momentum step forward in safeguarding our children's well-being. I extend my heartfelt gratitude to Governor Cox, Representative Wilcox, Max Schachter, and all of the legislators who have championed this critical piece of legislation. Your unwavering support and dedication to prioritizing the safety of our students is commendable. This law signifies more than just a piece of legislation. It represents our collective commitment to providing a secure learning environment for every child in Utah. With panic buttons in place, we empower teachers and staff to swiftly respond to emergencies, potentially saving lives in the process. Let us embrace this momentous occasion in optimism and determination, knowing that we are making tangible strides towards a safer future for generations to come here in Utah. Thank you so much.
And Max can come over, but I want to focus on this too. It's not just about the response when there is a disaster, it's about getting ahead of it so it doesn't happen. And that's the most important part of Max's contribution here.
Thank you, Ryan. The Parkland school shooting was the deadliest school shooting at a high school. 17 were murdered and 17 were injured in just 3 minutes and 51 seconds. And we started bringing people through the building, the site of the mass shooting, back in July. In October, 220 individuals from 25 states walked through that building. Utah brought the largest contingent through the building, and Representative Wilcox came. He spent a tremendous amount of time there, and he gathered all the lessons learned so that he can bring that to Utah and make sure that it never happens here. So I want to thank him, thank Governor Cox for prioritizing this issue, because if the kids and the staff don't make it home every day, nothing else matters. And so Utah is not waiting until the next tragedy strikes here. They're proactively going out there, implementing lessons learned, taking the terrible tragedy that happened in Parkland and making schools safer in Utah. So I want to commend them. I want to thank them. And all the parents should know that schools are safer today because of the good work that Representative Wilcox and the governor have done today. Thank you very much.
All right, we're down to our last bill. I have a lot of pens up here if anybody needs a pen. This one is one that we're really excited about, and it is Senate Bill 206. Senator Ann Milner, I don't believe she's here today, but we're going to have Loggins come speak to this one. This is the Young Adult Service Fellowship. Governor Cox and I have really prioritized service because that's who Utah is. Utah is the highest, the state that gives the most in charitable contributions. We're the highest for volunteerism. It's who we are, it's what we do, and we want to promote that and encourage that and foster that for future generations. So we're really grateful for all of the folks who have worked together on this piece of legislation. President Randall's going to speak to it. Loggins, you're going to speak to it, I believe, for a minute also, and then we'll have other people come up as we sign.
Thank you, Lieutenant Governor. We are so honored and pleased to be here today. This is such an exciting event. We are so glad of the support of Senator Milner, Representative Val Peterson, Lieutenant Governor who oversees our commission, the governor's office. There's been so much support from the universities and colleges. We are just very humbled and excited to be able to have this first of its kind fellowship for those youth and young adults exiting high school and in our higher ed institutions, to be able to provide them opportunities for service, and through their service, opportunities for their path forward with their education, with their career pathways, as they lean into where they want to go in life, and provide them opportunities through service in their community while they make an impact around the state. in their local communities in a multitude of ways. And so we're very excited to see this being kicked off. And we wanted to give some time as well to President Randall.
Thank you, Logan.
Thank you.
We just want you to know that the University of Utah is certainly committed to the community service ideals of the One Utah Fellowship Program. As mentioned by Loggins, this will allow students in our state to graduate from high school and earn valuable scholarship dollars through service to be able to attend any institution in the state. We also, as a university, are committed to tuition affordability and actually moving individuals forward in their careers. And I think that's what the beauty of this program is it's not only reducing the cost of higher education, but it's providing remarkable career preparation opportunities as people serve. So to that end, the University of Utah is pleased to announce today a companion program, a $1 million U Service Corps program that will complement the state's News One Utah Service Fellowship Program that's outlined in Senate Bill 206 that was sponsored by Senator Ann Milner. This program is designed to actually address a critical need of our student population, those who don't necessarily have merit-based aid coming in or some of the need-based aid, and actually provide them the opportunity to work and also earn scholarship money at the same time as they serve in our communities. Let me just say, we love individuals on this campus who are willing to serve. And in fact, that is the reason we are here today in our Benyon Service Center, our Benyon Center, which is completely focused on service and service learning, making this announcement. The way this will work is that a student will actually provide service of up to 120 hours a semester. They will get paid a combination in wages and scholarship dollars, about $5,000. This program will actually be piloted through our Hinckley Institute of Politics that already has a very well-oiled machine in terms of internship placement. It will also coordinate here with our Benyon Center and also our U Career Center. We hope that after this pilot, which this year will be 200 students during the whole school year, we hope that through a partnership with AmeriCorps, private foundations, and the state, that this will actually scale to over 1,000 students as we kind of figure out and work out the nuts and bolts. But again, what's exciting about this is it allows us to attract students that care about our community, that want to serve, that want to get engaged in building what we have here in Utah. And we just want to make sure we support that and hopefully partner with our other sister institutions to roll this out statewide to all universities. Thank you.
Thank you, President Randall. Service is critically important, not just to benefit the community, but it benefits the giver. We live in a polarized world. There's too much isolation, not enough connection with each other. And as we serve and as we build that culture of service in our higher ed institutions, in our K-12 institutions, in our communities, it will only strengthen our communities. It will bring people together in ways they wouldn't have otherwise. It will connect people. It will teach leadership and other intangible skills. It will make for better citizens and keep Utah the wonderful, strong, giving place that it is, that it always has been. I'm really excited about this. Thank you very much for the support from the University of Utah. If there's anybody else who wants to come up, please do. I will never forget that student. I'm so excited to see you. Be weird.
Crumble. Yeah.
Yep.
My addiction was outed.
I want it. I'll take it. Oh, okay. I know. I'm sorry. Nope, that's great. I'm gonna say sorry, not sorry on this one. Janelle, you should too. All right. Yes, please.